I'm Senator Bob Huff. Thank you for joining me for my Capitol comment for the week of March 19th, 2012. Well, just like the swallows returning to Capistrano, things are starting to get busier in the Capitol, particularly as we did a little budget bill dance today. Now, what that means is we now have majority vote budget, meaning Republicans don't need to be consulted. In fact, they aren't consulted in putting together the budget. Last year's the first time we had that. So today, in prep for that 50% majority vote budget, Democrats on both the Assembly and the Senate moved about 40 bills. They call them spot bills because they're empty bills. There's nothing in there. And by putting them in the other house, when they come back to us again for concurrence, there will be no debate. There can't be any debate. It'll be all pre-cooked by the Democrat leaders and presumably the governor. We will come back, and who knows how much time will actually be spent reviewing these. Last year we had some that had 2 hours from the time Ledge Council put them out and the time we voted on it. That's the transparency that happens here in the Capitol. Now, sadly, we're going to have this pre-cooked budget sometime between, I predict, after our June election and the constitutionally mandated deadline of June 15th. So once again, Capitol's up to its tricks. We'll have a majority vote budget and nobody will have a chance to look at it. By the way, they will say that they have more transparency because they're having all these budget committee hearings. Well, hearings, it doesn't get you where you want to go unless you're making the tough votes. And they're not doing the votes. They're informational hearings, so presumably we can make an informed decision. But if you can't see what you're making the decision on, how can it be informed? Now, the other thing that's interesting is, the governor's call for spending cuts this year. We're being a little bit loose on how we do that. The governor said there's $9.2 billion of problem. And then last week, he went and melded his tax increase with the teacher union tax and increased the amount of money that was raised. And I said at the time that would allow the governor and the Democrats in the legislature to pass a majority vote budget and not have to do any cuts, not have to do any reform. And that's exactly what's going to happen. We have even the Senate Pro Tem on a KFBK interview this last week saying that they want to do this by taxes, not cuts. They'll balance the budget by taxes, not cuts. We will have missed a great opportunity to reform government and to make government more lean and responsive, and I think that's the wrong thing to do. Thanks for joining me. I'm Senator Bob Huff.